All right, so when it comes to cancel culture, um, both sides of the aisle aren't exactly um, being they're better persons because the cancel culture, it's pretty much out of control on both sides of the aisle. The toxicity of this of our society is pretty much it's reaching its boiling point within those that are looking into the differences and hypocrisies of their opposing people with opposing viewpoints. So liberal, conservative, both sides have the same minds. It is what it is, and they do this little ping pong thing where they go at each other. I mean, in some cases it can be entertaining, but these days it's pretty detriment to the republic as a whole because dialogue is very important. And to have dialogue, we can't have people, throwing steak knives. That's what society feels like with this blame game and the hypocrisy game. Oh well, you did this, so I can do this, or you canceled me. I'm gonna cancel something of yours. Uh, it's getting a little bit out of control there. We can't have that dialogue. I'm not the biggest fan of democracies, but the democracy that we do have, at least it is stable with our Constitution. Thank you, James Madison. The guy was very, very, very people savvy in terms of understanding what restrictions people should have and what they shouldn't. Restrictions when it comes to protections of their property, and then the freedom of speech for things that people should have a lot of room of freedom for, stuff like that. But yeah, it's not a healthy dialogue. It does need to change if we want to continue to succeed in this society, in the system that we have in this country. It goes to exampling like the beer stuff, with certain ideologies, like on the conservative side, that they don't really agree with. I understand that the trans community is a very small portion of the population as a whole, and putting a minority on the majority is not necessarily going to win over that majority. But I understand the liberal perspective to a certain extent. I am high in conscientiousness, but I am also high in openness as well. So I have both a conservative and liberal combined mind, as it would be. So I can see mostly. I do tend to be more conservative when it comes to this republic in general, but I'm also open to things at work as well. So I'm open as well. I'm very open minded. But the conservatives are doing a little cancel thing with the beer thing, and it's not necessarily going to, picking on the little guy. It doesn't necessarily seem like a winning scenario to me for the conservatives. I understand they struggle with being open to new things like that. But it's not going to be helpful for them in the long run. Sometimes it's just better just to kind of like, because I do agree with like Jordan Peterson's, where we do have to find that dialogue where we're all agreeing, and we have different perspectives and different viewpoints that turn into different opinions that we may disagree with, but we need to have that open dialogue to see what works from both sides of the aisle. So the cancel culture is just not it's not healthy for that. And I just wanted to get that out on Facebook because it's very important. Because if you're someone that I disagree with, it's healthier to have that dialogue and see what works. And the cancel stuff, even, it's fine to do for the private businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, you have the option to buy what products you like and you love, based on your ideology, your political opinions and whatnot. That is fair in a free market, which this should mostly be a free market. There are certain areas where we do need safety nets, but even then, that should not be abused. But that's a different story altogether. But it's not healthy in general, and sometimes you just kind of get it over with. As someone who leans mostly conservative, I'm at the point to where accepting the liberal ideology, um, it gets better and better with age, and actually just debate, because there are things that they are right on. There are things that conservatives are wrong on. It just really depends. My boundary is the Constitution, which is it gives the restrictions we need, and it gives us the ability to kind of maneuver that we need with the freedom of speech stuff again. And then, like, what's our property, stuff like that, the law, the lawful nature of the document. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to get back to work.